Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright.
Finally, boys, basketball is back. But before we get into that discussion, we're going to give a shout out to our partners over at W Energy. As you can tell, the boys are rocking their different tumblers. We all have different designs, different things that we're rocking. But most importantly, we're rocking it with that energy powder in our cups. Fantastic tasting energy drinks, from the peach rings to all the different strawberry, whatever else they got.
I got the peach one today.
That's what I'm saying. Green apples, all different fantastic tasting flavors, all of the energy, none of the crash. Head on over to w.gg, use our promo code Poi N Soy, that's POINSOY, for 10% off your order. You support them, you support us. Bang, bang. Moving on, we're going to talk about NBA basketball. It's been a hell of a week, or a couple weeks, I guess, by the time you're hearing this. But most importantly, we got to see some of the stuff that we've been waiting to see for a very long time. Real basketball, not this preseason, whatever-ish, not the rookie showcase stuff, not the summer league stuff, but real NBA basketball. So I'm going to throw it over to the both of you. First and foremost, your Lakers, what are they? 3 and 2. Gotcha. They're 3 and 2. They did have a pretty solid week this week. What did you guys get to see from that team over this week? I'm just going to leave it open house to the both of you.
Oh, we flying, baby. We in that championship. Okay, no, it's too early for that. But
3 and 2. I mean,
hey. We are.
All I'll say is, that first week loss to the Denver Nuggets. Our first game loss, sorry. Rightfully so. Denver came out hot, cooking, pretty much same core. So it was like didn't skip a beat from where they were at the end of last season.
Championship hangover my butt.
Who said that?
It was a hot take. I didn't say it was gonna happen. Okay, it was a hot take. But I think the Lakers kind of bounced back a little bit. They got their next win. Went to OT, I believe, with the Kings and lost in a close one. No, D'Angelo Russell has been coming out hot, shooting exactly how we wanted him and why we re-signed him. And that was the big thing last year is he did great during the regular season, but he kind of disappeared when it came playoff time. So I'm hoping even if he takes a little bit of a slump during the middle of the regular season, come back hot for the playoff time and let's make something happen. AD, after that first game, kind of second half blunder, he's been killing it. I'll save that for when we do the way too early reactions, but other than that, I think the Lakers are off to a strong start. I know they wanted to limit LeBron's minutes, but the 2 games that we've just had back-to-back that we needed to win, he played 38 and I think like 42 minutes or something like that. So we'll see where it takes us, but I'm excited about this season so far.
Jared, what did you get to see?
I mean, Nolan hit all the great points, but I'd say the biggest thing for me is like the LeBron thing. They wanted the minute restriction. I get that you want to win. But, man, 5 games in, and he's already averaging, 36 minutes a game or something. It's kind of up there. But it's kind of crazy because in year 21, the fact that he's doing the things that he's doing, it's good for them, I guess you would say. Because I feel like sometimes when they try to rest LeBron enough, that's when he tends to get hurt. But it's interesting in a sense in the last game I think I was watching.
Supposedly he won't be able to rest this year, right? So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
wait. I want to know because there have been multiple players already that are resting.
Yeah,
well, you only allowed to rest one or two,
like,
right?
what?
One superstar or something? Wasn't it something like that?
One
Yeah,
superstar per game.
It's so crazy because they're like, yeah, the resting is going to definitely take a dip and it's going to be like fake injuries. But nope, on the fantasy apps, it just says Jimmy Butler, rest. This person, rest. I was like, okay, well,
as long as it's not Jimmy and Bam, I guess that's how they're justifying it. So
That's their
I'm sure they wanted to
players,
do
right?
no resting, but I mean, here we are. This is the age we're in. 4 games in, and people are already resting.
No, yeah, for real though.
I think it's a little bit of a mixed bag. I do enjoy the reason why they implemented it, because it does kind of it tries to retain the purity of the game of basketball, right? And
Yeah.
obviously you're going to get those like we mentioned, I think they wait till the next dead ball to call it, unless it's like some sort of
Did not know that. That was weird.
So
Yeah.
it kind of doesn't
It's
disrupt
nice
the flow.
because it doesn't interrupt the play.
Yeah. So I think that's a very beneficial thing for it. But I think a lot of it also kind of has to be broken down at the ref level, because there's a lot of times where you may call it a flop, but a lot of it is exaggeration because they know they didn't get the call, even though it may or may not have happened, right? Brunson goes up for a shot, and you look at the replay, and it's a clear, in my opinion, it was clear that Tatum stepped under his landing space. He landed on him, but then Brunson kind of did the extra, like he got hit
The
at the upper
pushback.
body as well to dive out of the way. I mean, to be fair, I was always taught as an athlete, if you land on someone's foot, just completely collapse. But it was kind of a weird jump out of the way, and he didn't get the call, which the refs even said, yep, that was a missed call on our part. He landed or went into his landing space. So it's a lot of this, it's mixed bag of, hey, how are we supposed to kind of differentiate between someone who's letting the ref know I'm getting fouled, or someone that's really just flopping. And then I think that it's still going to be a work in progress, but so far I don't mind what they're kind of doing with it. And I think it's going to help kind of, defer players from actually trying to flop too much.
I mean, Jared, is there anything that you think they could implement in order to make it so that we still get the purity of the game, but we also get rid of like the, exaggerated flopping that we've been seeing the last like 10 years or so?
I mean, the only thing I would say is like the fact that you can go to kind of video review, which would take more time from the game, which sucks.
Yep.
But that's the only way that you can really like Nolan said, right? It was a missed call. It was a missed call when you think about it. If you're gonna call somebody for flopping, I think they need to implement the video review, because it's a technical foul that can really, you know what I mean?
Change the game.
If you're somebody who goes to the basket and you exaggerate your motion and you get a technical every game, you're gonna be Draymond Green. You're gonna be literally suspended for an important game because you're not getting the right calls. So I think that needs to be implemented. Like Nolan said, I love how they wait to the next dead ball, because you need to. Right? You don't want to, like you said, the purity of the game, the flow of the game, that kind of messes it. So when it's the next dead ball, it's great. But if you're going to give somebody a technical foul, like a flagrant 1 and a flagrant 2, you video review it before you give it. So I think in that same regard, they need to do it in that regard.
I think the only thing that's weird about it too is that because they wait for the dead ball, it's like there's like the continuation of the play, right? So they could score whatever or not score, whatever it might be. And then you have to do the kind of stop and do the technical shot, and the ball, if I'm not mistaken, goes to the other team or is in your position. I forgot how that works. Is it like if they make the free throw, they get to keep the ball, or is it no matter what they get the ball after they shoot the?
I don't know. I don't know what the technical.
I guess that's what I'm saying is like it's kind of weird, like to think that like you could score, the other team gets a technical, and then you could get a technical shot and get the ball right back. So it's like a 4-point swing all in one fell swoop. So, I mean, for all I know, we're not actually super privy on what the ruling is. So that could be completely wrong. But as far as my knowledge is, takes me, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm like, that's a little weird that you're like, get the layup, the other guy flops just to try to get like a charge or something, and then you get a technical shot. So it's like 3 points all in one motion. The next team I got here for you guys that I want to throw out to you, the Boston Celtics. Clearly, they are clicking on all cylinders as at the start of the season. Their 2 main guys averaging between 55 and 60 points together. They got Kristaps Porzingis, who has been able to stretch the floor. Drew Holiday and Derek White have been playing absolutely phenomenally on the defensive end, especially together. I think right now probably the best defensive backcourt in the league at the moment. But yes, everything seems to be clicking for this team. thoughts on this team and kind of where they're at. Where do you guys think they're going to be going into the rest of the season?
I mean,
As Nolan's wearing his Celtics green.
I know.
No, I swear to God.
True
What are
Celtics
you
green
doing?
fan.
What are you doing, Nolan? God.
I asked them to wear their favorite team colors,
That's a
and
lie.
Nolan picked green.
He's a lie.
And I
Just
picked,
like why I'm wearing my red.
I picked Dallas, baby.
We're all rocking our favorite teams. Go, Nolan.
Don't make me
As
get
a
my
major-
Dodgers jersey. You can't say bandwagon. I got a Dodgers jersey.
No.
That's the best Celtics fan I know. You go ahead and tell me on.
I'm about to go change right now.
Yeah, his
A real
Dodgers right
fan
there.
would,
You
but
see it?
whatever.
You see his
Whatever. Anyways, yeah, I
Wouldn't
think
be
that
an
the
HB without trolling Nolan a little bit.
trolling me without me here. I don't think I don't listen to the damn pods, you mother. Anyways, every time I don't even say it like that.
Watch, he's gonna say it like this today.
It's a running joke. We have to keep it going.
I know.
I know.
No, but I think the Celtics are taking advantage of a East that's trying to figure out their path right now. The Bucks, they're getting used to having Lillard back on that team. It's been a hit or miss so far. The Hawks, some seemingly are doing well, but I don't think by any stretch of imagination where they're going to be shooting to the top right now. Sixers obviously had a lot of off-court drama going on, figuring out who they're getting in return.
J-Book, any thoughts?
My biggest question is going to be always their bench, because I feel like they gave up a lot on the bench side of things. But as of what they're doing right now, it's great. Their two leaders are phenomenal, right? We always talk about Brown and Tatum, and then we like Nolan talked about Porzingis. My dark horse right now for them is the Drew Holiday effect. What Drew's been doing on the defensive side of the ball. We talked about the Marcus Smart effect of like who's going to step that role. And he's really been doing that for them. The way he facilitates, the way he commands stuff on the court, just a good just another good role player that Boston needs. They don't need another superstar. They just need a role player who's willing to do the dirty work. He leads the team in blocks, which is crazy, right? With almost 2 blocks a game. I mean, I only played 4 games, but still, it's for a point guard or point/shooting guard for them to be averaging that. It's ridiculous. So what he's doing on that side, and he's staying out of foul trouble, and he gives points where it's needed. I think for me, Drew Holiday has been a phenomenal pickup for them, especially after losing a player like Marcus Smart. But yeah, I mean, I just think really, like Nolan said, they're taking advantage of an East that, like, I was looking at. It's funny because we know how we graded all the Eastern Conference teams, and I was looking at some of the teams that are up there. I was like Orlando. I was like, bro, we had Orlando nowhere near in the top 6.
I know.
And they're sitting at number 4 right now at 3-2. Like, but I do think it's an effect of like a lot of teams made a lot of moves, and we talked about like when LeBron went to Miami, it was about the whole trying to figure it out in the beginning of the season. And once those teams figure it out, I mean, it's crazy. I think the Bulls are playing, like, I'll talk about the Bulls. I think they're playing good ball right now. I think Cleveland's trying to figure it out. Like all the teams that we talked about that wanted to be something, or we weren't sure about, like they're the ones that I think are still trying to figure their life out, and they're having that little hangover. Like we said, the Knicks and the Cavs. I think who had the hot take? Was it you or Nolan about the Cavs not being, or was it the Knicks? Sorry, was it? No, we talked.
I said the Knicks were just one trade away from being
But we said the
contender.
I think there was one team that we were talking about that was like kind of not going to be like, oh, I don't think. Oh no, that was the West. That was Utah, not Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was somebody like that. But I do think on the Eastern Conference side, it's just like teams figuring it out. But Boston's doing Boston. Like they're not relying heavily. Like I looked at their spread, and their spread is actually not too horrible. Like they're keeping all 5 starters involved, and they're getting bench production. So I think they're in a good spot right now. At least that's a great start for them.
You know, I was gonna say, I was like, it's funny because you mentioned the sort of depth for this team. And honestly, as I'm looking over the roster right now, they don't have a lot of guys who you would say are like household names in any way, shape, or form. However, you still got Al Horford off the bench. You still have Peyton Pritchard off the bench, who kind of stabilize your bench unit. Couple that with the fact that they've always kind of ran like an 8 to 9 man rotation. And then you got guys like O'Shea Brissett. You got Sam Hauser, who's a fantastic shooter. I mean, they have guys who kind of fit the mold of what the Boston Celtics identity is. And the fact that they can kind of split up their star group amongst those units, to me, is ridiculous. Like, they're always going to have one of either probably Jalen Brunson or Jason Tatum on the court at one time. They'll still have Drew Holiday or Derek White, who both provide kind of the same thing for this team. Obviously, Drew Holiday more at an elite level. And then you have the kind of duo of Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis, who I think are fantastic to switch in and out. But yeah, I mean, in general, this team has been firing on all cylinders. I think we predicted it already that they're going to be at the top of the Eastern Conference, sooner rather than later. So it'll be very interesting to see what they do for the rest of the season. That'll do it for us here on this episode of After the Buzzer. We thank you for joining us again this week. We'll see you next week as we continue to break down the NBA season. Hopefully there'll be more NBA
in-season
news
tournament
between now and there. Yeah, I know. We'll have some news on the in-season tournament, which is super exciting. Can't wait for that. But anyways, that'll do it for us this week. It's been a pleasure. It's been a joy from all of us here at Poi N Soy.
Good vibes and love, everybody.
Bang, bang.
Shoots.